Yeah, if you didn't sweat,
Yo, so did you end up having Spanish kids or no?
No. I could have.
Yeah, because you was in the loop with the Dominicans.
Yeah, I had a lot of the Puerto Rican girls. They ruin you. They ruin
My nigga
you.
said they ruin you.
They ruin you,
Fucking
bro.
horse.
They ruin you, bro. I never had a blowjob fucking like that in my life. I thought it was hers. I thought the cock was hers. She had it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow,
She
my
was-
nigga.
I'm like, this is ridiculous.
So the Rican bitches give the good blowjobs. I'll fuck with them.
You guys can get started whenever y'all ready.
It's like it's born in their throat. It just like belongs there.
Nah, the Dominicans are pretty good too. They're
Yeah, I had one Dominican girl.
One?
I
That's it?
No, because
You're legendary.
yeah, I only had one Dominican girl, and that was after the movie came out. She says, "Hi." She called me up. She says, she wanted to meet me. I go, "Why?" She says, "I want to fuck you before you get too famous." All right.
I want to circle back to something else that I saw in the documentary about one of the drug dealer. Remember his girl? Whatever
Yeah.
You said, "Is that your girl? This pretty fucking girl? Is this your girl?"
Oh, yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, on today's show we have.
Are you starting?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
going right
Let's
now.
go.
Even with the Dominican thing.
We
we're
live,
going.
baby.
We're
It's
going.
lit. It's lit.
On today's show, I don't really necessarily want to talk too much about. Usually, I say who the person is, what they did, but with this guest, with this man, I think I should just, because I don't want to give too much away, because the content of the things he's about to say are really going to shock you. So I don't want to take any of that away. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Dowd.
Yes.
So Mike, thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. You know, Lilo, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan, but I'm not. But I like you, so because I'm not a fan. I mean,
Yeah.
I just happen to like you.
Yeah.
You know, we've gotten along. You were very nice to me. I was in kind. You contacted me when this thing came out that
Right.
we're about to go through,
Right.
And you said what an amazing job they did.
For those of you who don't know, Mike was in a documentary.
Lupus.
The documentary was basically, he was the main character, main subject of the documentary. It was called The 7-5.
So I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay.
Okay. There was no 7-5. There wasn't supposed to be the 7-5. And what happened was I got a phone call. So I'm sitting in a car in Long Island at meat farms. My life at the time was simple. I was anonymous, essentially. You can never be anonymous when you're...
How old were you at this time?
At the time I get the phone call, I am 53, 54-ish. So 2012, so I'm 50. 51. And the phone rings, and it's my current girlfriend at the time, not currently today. And too bad. She's a good kid, you know.
Yeah.
And she answers the phone, and she thinks it's my book agent, because I have a guy that's trying to sell my book. By the way, I'm still looking for a book agent. I mean, I don't have the book. I mean, we can do it right now. We can write it from this podcast. Maybe we'll write it.
It would be a great book.
Yeah. So I get the call, and she gets a call. Mike, it's your agent, Jeff. She thinks it's Jeff Schmidt, my agent from New York Creative Management. Jeff, you still haven't sold the fucking book. But anyway, I go, what does he want? Like, I'm busy. I'm getting sick and tired of nothing. You know how nothing happens until it does, right? So she hands me her phone, and I go, what's up, Jeff? He goes, this is Tiller Russell. I go, who the fuck are you? He goes, I'm out in L.A. We're doing a documentary about the Mullen Commission. I said, oh, really?
What is that commission?
Mullen Commission.
Now, what exactly is
The commission is they did an investigation about, they wanted to determine the depths of the corruption in the crack-plagued city of New York from like 85 to 90. At this time it was 92 or 3 when the commission was established, and so they were doing a documentary about the commission, sort of like back in the day they had something called the Knapp Commission, which Serpico was after birth. He was after birth of the Knapp Commission. So the Mullen Commission, they want to do a documentary about the Mullen Commission. I told them I want nothing to do with the Mullen Commission, and I have no reason to cooperate with a documentary about the Mullen Commission. I said, because it's going to sit on the fucking shelf and go nowhere. I said, because if you want me to reopen my life and talk about my life in public again, I said, it's not going to be about the Mullen Commission. He goes, well, I'm doing it with you or without you. That's what he says to me. So I said, well, come see me. So he flies out from L.A., he gets on the Long Island Railroad, and paint. I don't know, wherever he gets on it. MacArthur, LaGuardia, what the fuck knows. And he ends up taking the wrong stop to Patchogue. I tell him, get off at Islip. You know, these people, they don't understand. Islip is Islip. Patchogue's not Islip. He's out in Patchogue. So I get in the car. I go pick him up in Patchogue. I get him in the car. I'm driving back. And he's sitting in the front seat. And I go to him, what I'm about to tell you is going to change your life. And he's like, yeah, okay, I've heard this before. And he goes, what do you got? And I start telling him some of the stories, the crew, the guys, what we did, how it operated, where it came from, how I was basically the shot caller. And by the way, they were all independent. These guys were not under me, but I was a shot caller for most of it because I was working the street. Half these guys.
You're talking about the guys that
in the
I know from the dock.
In the 7.5
Right.
dock, yeah. So, but they all, I was the focal point. Everything went through me. Didn't have to, so I don't want to give a false impression, but most of it did, you know? So, P.S., I'm telling him some of the stories, and he gets on the phone and goes, remember that? I have no idea who he's calling. He goes, those last 6 months of work, throw it out. We got a star. So I go, who's the star? I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't even have an idea. He goes, you. I go, I'm the star. He goes, yeah, we're going to base this thing on whatever you say.
God
so
damn.
I said to him, but
I'm glad they did, because that made for the best
I said to him,
documentary.
there's only one way I'm doing this, is if you do it my way. I said, but you got to make him not hate me at the end. Just don't make him hate me, and I'm willing to do this. Because we've been hated characters half of our lives, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to expose my life and be honest, which is what we're really here about, right? This program that you guys are doing is about being honest and cleansing your soul. If I do that in public, man, I'm going to get a lot of shit thrown at me. I know I am. But don't make the film end and make people really hate me. So I think they did a good... So you go... So that's how it came about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did they hate me at the end?
No, I definitely, I wanted to meet you. Are you kidding me? I said,
Yeah,
this guy's
exactly.
fucking great. He's dynamic. I want to meet this guy. You made that documentary. There was good supporting cast.
Yes,
But it would have
yes.
never been what it was without you.
No,
Okay, so let's...
So what was it, like a biopic documentary or a documentary?
Documentary.
That's the one me and Matt seen last night, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There was some
So-
cool cats in that shit.
Yeah. No, everybody's real. Everybody in that thing, at least on my side, was real. And yeah, everybody on the other side, I'm not gonna disparage them. You know, I don't like some of them. You know, the FBI, the DEA agents. So, listen, he's a nice guy. He already fucking lied. All right,
Yeah.
he fucking lied. All right. Joe Hall, which was the detective
Yeah.
that's still in charge today of narcotics
Wow.
in the state of New York.
Wow.
He went from 7.5 detective.
Remember Joe?
Yeah, he went from.
He's the one that said, "Are they shooting at us?" That's
Yeah.
a negative. No, because he called in the radio saying they needed backup, thinking that they were chasing the drug dealers, and he said that's a negative. They're chasing us, bro.
chasing us,
So
bro.
you know what?
Yeah, so him. So Joe and I were friends. People don't know that. So friends. We were friendly. We were sort of camaraderie type guys. So, because he was basically, I wouldn't call him the lead detective in the 7.5 squad, but he was one of the top guys.
Okay.
And Joe was, I think, more intellectual than some of the other street cops that became detectives. You know, they're gritty. You know, listen, I can tell you something. If you ever run into a 7.5 precinct detective, you're talking to a man with more experience. Don't ever fucking lie to him, because he'll know the minute you open your fucking mouth. These guys are gangsters. They're straight up gangsters.
They have to be.
They're blood fucking hunting.
They're
to be. Killers, every fucking one of them, because they know what a killer is. They look you in the eye and go, he did it or he didn't. Before they even make a decision, they know where the case is going. Don't think they don't know.
And that takes time, right?
You just can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not street hard and you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Like
Either
you
got
said,
it or you don't.
You don't.
Like
Right.
you said in the documentary, after being on the street for a while, you know the look of a guy that's carrying a gun.
Correct.
You know the look of a guy that's got drugs in his pocket.
Right.
You learn that. That's
Their body changes when they see the police.
Yes.
Everybody's does.
From
When
jump.
I'm driving a car, my body changes, right?
Yeah.
So picture you got a Glock or something, or you got an 8-ball, 50 or a kilo under your fucking coat. You change. You change.
You're definitely changing.
And you go from holding the bag like this to swinging the bag all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Why is this fucking guy swinging? Now I want that bag.
Right. Yeah.
He wasn't swinging it a minute ago. He saw me. It's swinging now.
Now I want that
that's my
fucking bag. There's money in that
No,
bag.
I
There's
want
money in
that
that
bag.
bag. Money
Money,
is something
money
worth
don't
something.
put guns in that bag.
Yeah.
I want it. That's how.
Okay,
it
so
goes.
you know what?
Don't kid yourself.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah,
then.
why?
Wait,
Why?
where'd you
Are
grow
we
up?
done yet?
You grew up in Long Island?
I was born in Brooklyn.
Okay.
On Marine Park.
Okay.
We call it St. Thomas Aquinas.
Okay.
That was the church. Flatlands Avenue
Okay.
and 37th Street, something like that.
And
From there, Dad became a fireman, and he packed the station wagon up and moved 6 or 7 of us out to Long Island.
Suffolk County.
Suffolk County, Brentwood. They call it Brentwood. Yeah.
So you had thank you, brother. So did you have any siblings?
7 of us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm one of 7.
Okay.
I have 5 brothers and a sister.
Okay. And you had both your parents growing up?
I had both my parents throughout my whole life and still today.
Wow.
So you had a very solid
I'm
upbringing,
blessed.
right?
Yeah, very, very, very Irish
Catholic.
poor motherfucking.
Yeah.
Grit every day, fighting with each other.
Yeah, Dad was hardworking guy, though.
Dad had 4 jobs.
Family
Mom
oriented.
never left the house. She cooked and cleaned.
So out of those 7 siblings, were you the one that was causing the most trouble growing
No,
up?
I was the least problem.
Wow.
I was the one.
Okay.
I was the one. Doctor, lawyer, accountant.
The
big
one they had
business.
high hopes for.
The one.
Yeah.
The whole family. Everybody. That whole family.
Wait, was your pops mad at you when everything came crashing
No,
down?
he wasn't mad. He was hurt.
Yeah, he
but
was
he
hurt.
wasn't mad.
Shit.
My mother wanted to kill me.
Yeah, it's the same shit with my father. Father always supports you.
Yeah.
Listen, but mothers, oh, please, I can't even go out. I'm so
yeah,
embarrassed. These
yes.
people, they ask me questions.
Yes. And big case, right? All over the fucking news.
Fucking huge.
Every day for a fucking year straight, every day I was on the news. Every day, front page, second page, fourth page, every day. So when my mother would go to the store, his son would be on the front page of the fucking Post, Daily News, Newsday, Times, fucking Gazette, whatever you fucking name it.
Everywhere. That shit was huge.
380 something articles in 1 year.
Wow. So they had the high hopes that you were going to be the doctor because you're. All right. Is that
I'm
what you?
reasonably intelligent,
Right.
but people don't notice I'm dyslexic.
Oh, okay.
So it's really hard for me to read. But I'm
Same.
intelligent. You know?
Same.
You're dyslexic a little bit? Yes.
And does that ever go away, or do you still? Is it
I'm
still?
still
so-
dyslexic. I
Yeah.
still suck.
I don't know much about it. I'm not trying to make fun.
I'm
I
doing
just.
audiobooks.
Yeah, well, see? But I got better in prison because they had nothing to do, so I was able to focus.
Yeah.
You know, some guys, they can read like, I'm like, hello, how are you?
Yeah.
The guy's
love
like,
this.
line 7. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? I'm afraid to read a newspaper in front of you because you go, you're done yet? I'm on the fucking second paragraph.
So what did you want for your parents? They had the high hopes and want you to be doctor, lawyer. What did you want for yourself? Did you see yourself going in that path?
I wanted to be an accountant because I like money.
Really?
Yes, I didn't know anything about it. What do I know? I'm fucking 20, 18, 17. I want money, so I figured if you're an accountant, you'll be around money.
Right.
I probably would have stole some, I guess, right? I mean, because we have that in us.
Right.
You know, we don't know it until the seed opens up, right? You
Right.
put water on it, and all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
But I can only imagine that I would have took down some banks.
Yeah.
Were you already
That
turned
first
out?
opportunity to steal, right? You know you're a thief.
I probably would.
Yeah, I
you
was
know,
the same way.
But see, so I got beat up by my father when I was like 5 or 6 years old for stealing some candy. I didn't steal it. George stole the candy.
Who's George?
George, my neighbor.
Oh.
George stole the candy at Chunky's. I don't even like Chunky's. You know, back then the Chunky's.
Yeah, the square.
They were fucking big and like
Yeah.
2 pounds. George stole it. He was allowed though. George was allowed to steal. His parents allowed him to steal.
Sheesh.
Because they were poorer than us, so they were allowed to steal.
So if you could go steal from him, then I don't got that pressure that I got to get.
So
that
I
for
go
you.
with George to on Colmac Road. People that listen to it was called Bohacks. Did you ever hear of Bohacks? Anybody? You never heard of Bohacks? You never heard of Bohacks?
No.
Bohacks. Okay, it was one of the probably like it's like today's meat farms. Okay, or something like that respect. So Bohacks. I went to Bohacks, and there's like 3 people in the store, and me and George. And we're like 5, 6 years old. And George takes the fucking chocolate bar, puts it in his pocket, and we walk out the store and we get pinched. So they got to, you're detained. They detained you back then.
Yeah,
You didn't go nowhere.
absolutely.
You're 6 years old, you're getting pinched. You're getting taken a collar. I'm like, oh my God. My father comes up with the fucking wiffle ball bat, starts beating me in front of the guy with the bat. He goes, I got this, thank you, sir. Bang! So I did steal more after that, but I got better at it.
Yeah.
But don't forget,
You didn't want the wiffle bat
We're still
again.
poor. We're
Yeah,
poor.
absolutely.
We're poor.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted gifts for my family for Christmas, so I had to go to that store. That store that had the black lights and the posters and shit.
What, like lot stores?
No, like they had. Today it would be like a Pier 1, but back then it was a psychedelic store. People out there know what I'm talking about. Like Bayshore Mall, every mall had one of these stores in it, and they had black lights, they had the punks, they had all kinds of weird shit.
Like an emo store. It would be like
Yeah,
an emo
all
store
kinds of
now
crazy,
in
like
the
the
mall.
little boxes that you open up, and a girl jumps out naked. Whatever. They had all these little trinkets. So I would steal shit for Christmas. I wanted to give Christmas gifts to my family. So I'd go there with a bag. I had full of bag up with stuff.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I got away with it. I don't know, but I got away with it. So you get better, right? We get better at doing bad shit. So, and it's unfortunate because had I really taken a good beating at 6, maybe I broke a leg or something, I might have remembered it more. The disaster from doing these things. But so that was but I had a great childhood. We had each other. You know, when you have, I don't know if you have a big family or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you have each other, it's really the best.
Where's George now?
George? I haven't seen George since that beating.
Yeah.
Father said, stay away from that guy.
68 or 69, I think.
And then he saw the documentary. See, I told you
told
to stay
you,
away from that
stay away
guy.
from that
He was the trouble. Yeah, George.
What did I tell you? That fucking Mike was no good.
George did. He set
Yeah.
the seed in motion.
Yeah.
Because he was allowed to steal. I wasn't.
So obviously you had this little bad streak in you, right? You had I did too.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
So from that bad streak, where did you becoming or wanting to become a member of law enforcement come? Like, when did you want to become a cop?
I didn't.
So was it just like something at that time?
It was the next thing to do. I needed to get married because I was 20.
Yeah.
Back then, in my age, you did 20, you got to start planning a family and stuff.
Right.
You got to do something.
Yeah.
You're getting old, you know? You're gonna be spinster.
I remember
they call
the-
them spinsters, the girls that don't get married, you know?
I remember
Wow.
Kenny said in the documentary he put his name on the firefighter and the thing list,
same thing.
and he said,
Same thing.
So
Yeah, police department called
whatever
first.
they called him first.
Yeah, so that
yeah.
was
You know
it.
why they called him first? Because nobody wanted to work the 7-5.
Yeah, wow.
They were like, yo, that's the worst pre. we don't want to go there.
Yeah, but the technical reason is because the city had just started hiring again. The city was on a hiring freeze for years, and the police department had depleted down to, like, I'm just going to take a guess, 16, 17,000 police officers. New York City needs 30.
In the whole New York City?
Yeah.
Wow, that's like
God
half.
damn.
They need 30,000
They cut it
to
down by
really
half.
to really run the
How
city.
about now? It's probably like 50.
They lost a lot. They lost a lot.
Yeah.
They're down. They're undermanned right now. They're probably down to.
No.
They went. The police force is different today. You have all kinds of people that are
Yeah.
now attached to the police force that aren't police officers. You have all these different agencies now that are in the police world. But the police, the uniformed police force was up to, I want to say, when Giuliani was kicking it, about 30 to 35,000
A day? Outside?
uniformed cops.
Who was the mayor
but
for you? It
There's
was
only
cops,
10%,
right?
only 10% is at work at a time,
Okay,
and then
okay.
that's a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
You were a cop on the Koch, right?
I was a cop under Koch. Yeah, Beam had just left.
Okay.
Koch took over. I think it was the beginning of his second, 82. So I think it was the beginning of Koch's, well, the end of his first term, the beginning of his second. And there was a police commissioner, McGuire, an Irish man, it was like the Irish mafia. for Christ's sake. McGuire ran the fuck, but he was from Chicago, believe it or not. He ran the NYPD for whatever reason. They brought him in, and then after that, I was under Koch and then Dinkins.
Dinkins, yeah.
Yes.
Dinkins was like in turn the 90s. Once the 90s started.
Dinkins was its get mines time.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
The streets were fucking
It was
going
get mine.
crazy
It was
when
time
Dinkins.
to get mines. Okay, I'm saying straight out.
What,
that's how-
criminals, members of
Everybody.
law enforcement, everybody. It's a free for
It
all.
was a free for all.
Free-for-all.
Yeah.
Because I can't say this without sounding disparaging. Because Dinkins, I want to say he was more absent-minded and didn't get it. I don't think Dinkins was a street guy. You know, Koch actually, believe it or not, because he was a fag, he was a homo, right? He was a street guy. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh, you're good.
Listen, you say whatever
I
you
don't want to hurt people. You know.
Yeah, no,
Back
I mean-
then they were considered faggots, right? I mean, that's what they called them. I don't know, but they were homosexuals. And
Yeah.
by the way, some of my best friends are fucking homosexuals today.
Same.
You know, right, Frankie? So anyway,
I knew that about you, Frankie. I could tell.
One for Frankie.
come on, Dom, stop holding hands. Frankie and him up. No. Anyway, the two guys are twice my size. but anyway, my point is that back then, the police department was like, it became a free-for-all. Don't forget, it was the 80s. The crack epidemic hit. There was money in everybody's pockets. Or crack. I mean, you know what that was like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was everywhere. And I used to consider it got so prevalent, it was disgusting. Because I had $6 in my pocket. And these guys are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. And they got stacks. I'm like, I'm going to work every day. And they are too.
Yeah.
But they're selling fucking drugs. I'm trying to catch them and I can't because if you don't see them hand-to-hand sale,
You got nothing.
They got nothing.
Right.
Right. So, but they got cash.
How long before you were on
And
the
that
job?
cash had my name on it.
Yeah.
How long before you were on the job as a cop, a member of the New York Police Department, did you start turning? Was it because you liked money so much?
No.
Was it because you saw how easy it was?
No, not necessarily, no.
When did you turn and why?
Well, first of all, let's be honest with each other. Everybody likes money.
Yeah.
And what is Dory in the document? It feels good.
Right.
Money feels good. It feels good to have money, okay? But there's certain things people will do for money and certain things some people won't do for money. So everybody has their threshold, right? What will you do for $50, $500, or $40,000? There's a lot of differences between, for $5, if it falls on the floor, you pick it up maybe, right? But you're not going to beat a guy up for the $5. But if there's a bag of $40,000 on the floor there, you might fucking do a little something else for it. You don't know until you're in that position. So put in those different positions, I have a different threshold like anybody else would. She's blonde, 5'2" and 106 pounds. Yeah, I'm not going to do it, honey. Maybe you will, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has that threshold. I like brunettes with blue eyes, to be honest with you. And we happen to know one. And she's 111 pounds today. But anyway, that's another story for a different day. But my point is, you never know what your threshold is and where you're going to break. But everybody, except one person that I know of, never met him, although I have conversations with him every day, Jesus, he's the only one that I know that wasn't, but he did hang around with whores. So
Mary Magdalene was one, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think the
Mary
word is
Magdalene
out.
was a whore, right?
The word is out that he
Mike,
may have even, but we don't know because we weren't there.
Mike, when you came out the police academy, you already had that in your mind that you was gonna go bananas?
No.
You was gonna try to do the right thing?
So in the police academy, I did a couple of things that were probably unprofessional, which everybody does. You're young, you don't know what you're doing.
Were you like 19 there,
I was
20?
21. I just turned 21 in a couple of days.
And what year was this? 82?
82.
Okay.
I was born that year.
The thing I did in the academy was my partner, the guy next to me. Now, you got partners. This guy's your partner, and this guy's your partner, right? Because you're in the academy for months and months, so you become partners, right? And he came to work with a broken finger. Now he's in a police academy with a broken finger. He says, Mike, do me a favor. Tell him you slammed the desk against me and broke my hand. I said, Mike, tell the guy no. I didn't tell your fucking buddy no. Would you tell your buddy no?
No.
Okay. Would you?
No.
Okay. So, you're not his buddy pretty quickly, right?
Well, if he's in recovery and he wants to do drugs, then I tell him no.
That's a different story.
I know.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, but you're right. But you're right. Because you're looking out for him.
Right.
So I'm looking out for him because he's got a broken hand and he doesn't want to. He wants to take a mark for the broken hand. Because if he doesn't, they find out it's broken.
He might not be able to go through.
Something. But if he says he did it here at work, he's covered. So I covered him. So that's how I learned in the academy that this is what we do for each other.
Yes.
And I don't think that's unreasonable. But what's unreasonable is it's wrong.
Okay,
It
but
is.
is this?
But we do that for each other.
But I remember watching the documentary, and you used the term "good" when you know somebody else is good, right? Like when a cop is good, means that they're going to shut their mouth and go along with whatever you want to do.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. So
this was this when you first started realizing what that concept was, because you were good for him, right?
Right. Yeah. So that you could apply that to it.
Yeah.
Because I knew that for me to get along in this society, you got to be good. What does good mean? It doesn't mean you have to rob people. It doesn't mean you shake down the fucking bodega at the corner. It means that whatever the guy in front of you does, so long as he doesn't endanger your safety,
Right.
or murder somebody, because then, you can't be complicit in a murder. But if he beat the guy down and the guy had it coming, by the way, I do not condone the beatings. One of these guys says he get beat every week.
One of
the guys in your show.
Yeah.
I don't condone that, never did, never will. Never. But some guys do need a beating.
Of course.
Let's be honest with each other out there, audience and whoever.
No, they have no respect for law enforcement.
Never mind the law enforcement, for people.
What?
It's about
Some people need an ass whooping.
It's about people. So I'll give you an example. So there's a cop on the beat on Manhattan Avenue, and I forget the cross street by Nassau, Manhattan and Nassau in Greenpoint. Okay, by the studios, the film studios over there.
Yeah.
In Greenpoint. It's a cop on the corner. It's his first fucking week, and he's a big sloppy kid, but he's squared away. But I said big. He's a little bit of a doof, we call him.
Yeah.
A little bit of a doo-doo, but he was more fearful because that's what it is. But by the way, cops are scared to death their first couple of months on the street. Scared to death because they don't know what they're allowed to do. They don't know how to take it the right way, the wrong way, and they're still humans. But just because you put on a gun in the bed,
Absolutely.
you didn't become Bruce Lee overnight.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you're not a superhero.
I don't give a fuck. That's not the way it is. So now you got this young kid on the corner, and I'm in the Greenpoint, which is a Polish and Hispanic section of Brooklyn. And if you ever see a Polish guy that's just come home from eating fucking what's that shit?
Kielbasa.
No, it's asbestos.
Oh, okay.
They're all asbestos. That's what they did.
Okay.
Back in the 80s and 90s, they removed all the asbestos from all the buildings in New York. When they needed, they
Polish?
brought the Polish in to do
Okay.
it. All right, they're all dying from the lung shit, but they did it. And they were monsters. Their hands are just fucking wide, you know.
They're big people.
They're big, strong, powerful oxes,
That
right?
boxer, Gallardo,
They're
huge.
big guys, and you know, their women are beautiful, but that's another story. Anyway, so he's abusing this cop right in front of us on the street. I'm going to call my partner Tom Massia, whose son just got a problem. I don't know if you saw that in the news. The state trooper that shot himself on the highway. Did you see it?
Yeah, he killed himself?
No, he shot himself on the highway.
Oh, no.
State trooper last week, 2 weeks ago now. My ex-partner, not Urel, the last partner, because Urel got a 3/4 disability pension, and then this whole thing happened later on. But my current partner, when I got arrested, was Tom Massia. His son just got, I want to go with arrested, but I'm not sure. He's under investigation.
That's the guy your wives used to hang together with the white hair?
No.
That's Ken Urel.
Okay.
That's not
That
Tom
was the
Massia.
partner before.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Okay,
that's
okay.
yes, we did, but that's not the guy I'm talking about.
Okay.
This second, he shot himself in the leg. They say, and they went and hit his house. He had $500,000 in cash, at least in the basement of his house,
God damn.
and a couple dopey guns. What are you plastic?
What?
These guns? What are those fake plastic guns? What are they called? You make them?
Oh, a zip gun.
Zip gun. I don't know. They make them on the fucking computer. They print them out.
Yeah, them shit.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the invisible guns.
Yeah,
or
they're
some
real
shit
though.
like that.
They shoot bullets and
hell
shit.
That's crazy.
They
They're
make them
invisible,
up.
though.
So he got pinched. 2 weeks. I shouldn't say pinched. He had a little problem a couple weeks ago. Anyway, so back to the story. So we're in Greenpoint, and this guy is abusing the cop verbally. I got the window down. I'm like, this is not right. So we out of the car, and we roll the guy, take him down. And the guy was so strong, he almost snapped my arm. Wow. Because I put a chicken, half Nelson, you guys know about wrestling, half Nelson chicken wing on him. I had him down, but he was so strong, he was taking his arms like this.
And bringing him back in the center.
And bringing him back like this. And I could feel my arm bending. I'm like, I'm going to
damn.
break my fucking arm. This guy was a beast, right? And I wasn't a little guy. I'm sort of the size I am now. I was just muscle, a little more like you, built. I was nice. This guy was powerful. I'm like, I'm in fucking trouble right now. And
Y'all didn't have tasers either.
No tasers. And just as it happened, one of the guys came over and gave me one more hand. We were able to get the cuffs on and take him. And there's a cop in the room here. That's the hardest thing in the world, to handcuff somebody. I don't give a fuck if it's easier to fuck a woman or a guy if you have to than put handcuffs on someone. It's the hardest thing in the world. Anyway,
It is.
long story short, we tuned him up a little bit because he abused the cop. And the cop was embarrassed for himself, and he didn't want this. He didn't think that we should have arrested the guy. Like, now he was against us, the cop. I said, no. This isn't for you. This is for all of us.
Yes.
Because I can't stand this post next week, and this guy talked to me like that because you let him get away with it. So that's how the street was in these 80s and 90s and stuff.
Yeah.
If you didn't set a line, like anybody, look, if you don't set a line with me, I'm crossing it until you tell me where to stop and not.
Right.
So just like any civilian, if they're doing that kind of shit, you're on them. You gotta do that. Now, I'm not saying
Nip it in the bud,
you
man.
can't be abusive and all that shit. I gave the guy a ticket, let him go, okay? But I couldn't leave him in the street disabusing this guy, and then I wouldn't be clean because the next time I get that foot post, he may be pissing in my face.
Absolutely.
I can't do it. So
You did the right thing.
This is what it was like back then. But we meted out justice in the street in a way that was usually fair. I'm not into abusing people. I never was. If you deserved it, you had it coming. So that's why I referred to your buddy that said he gets locked up every couple of weeks by these guys in Jersey.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted, there was a couple of stories that, from the documentary. There was one, what was the guy you called? He was a Puerto Rican mystery? Could you tell us about that story? Wasn't that one of the first times?
That was actually the first time I was given cash.
Yeah, can you tell us that story?
Yeah. Well, I got a better one. Okay,
you
I
tell
got
us.
a better one.
Okay.
So, I'm in a sector car with this. I'm Sector George, working with Donnie Williams. I think his name was Donnie Williams. He's a fire chief from Central Islip, New York. So you know Long Island a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's a fire chief in Central Islip, New York, and we're working together. So I'm a Brentwood boy. He's CI. We're neighbors. We touch. You know?
Yeah.
So right away you have a little bit of a, I must say, camaraderie. You know,
Bond.
We're neighborhood guys, right? From the same neighborhood. Not East New York, but Long Island. We're the same neighborhood. And so, his long story short, he was security at Pilgrim State for 10 years. Listen to this gig. If you want to get a sideways, he gets security at Pilgrim State Hospital, which he's a licensed police officer for Pilgrim State. 10 years. That's 10 years in New York State pension system. Wow. He comes to the PD. He's only got to do 5 years, and he qualifies for a full, 3/4 pension, whatever it is. Anyway, but he gets his pension. Anyway, so he comes to the scene, and we get this call. Robbery, 660 Hegeman. Now, 660 Hegeman is a big story with me. Because 660 Hegeman, a lot of shit goes down. 660 Hegeman is one of the busiest buildings in the precinct. It's constant. It's like one of Tyson's buildings in Brownsville. 10 Amboy, Tyson would run in front of 10 Amboy and run up to the pigeon coop on the fucking roof. Okay, before the cops got out of the car. And that was Tyson, how Tyson grew up. Well, this is the same thing, 660 Hegeman. Anyway, so we get the call, and then we go, there's a robbery, We show up. There's a white guy standing in the street in East New York saying he got robbed. All right, Lilo. What are you doing in East New York? All right?
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing here in East New
Yeah.
York? All right? He robbed me. I know. He may have gotten robbed, but it's more than a robbery, okay? There's something going on here. So we go up the second flight, and the door's right in front of us. You know, you can go this way. That door's in front of us. There's one here, one there, but run the hallway. So we go straight to the door, and they're trying to close the door. Of course, I get my foot in there, and they ain't closing that fucking door for nothing now. And we push the door open, and I hear all kinds of noise going on while I'm trying to get in the apartment. Like,
Shuffling stuff.
Shit flying everywhere. I get in, I push it in, I grab this guy, and I look to my right. I got one guy basically by the throat or something. It's amazing where you get this strength from.
Yeah.
You know? Where does this come from?
It's adrenaline, man. Fight or
I got
flight.
this guy by the fucking throat. And I look to my right, and there's this blender and a table set up with a blender and cocaine sitting on the fucking table. And a box. Okay, they sell eggs in a big box like this. And a dozen, 50...
When you buy them wholesale.
50 cartons go in that box.
Yeah, it's like a restaurant depot.
Correct. How do I know? Because it says 58 cartons in this box, and a box this high off the ground. And it's just full with tin foils of 50s. Back then it was 50s, right? Rolled up tin foils of 50s.
Yeah.
That's how they served cocaine back then, in rolled up tins of 50. It's fucking this high off the ground with the fucking
Shit was
50s.
Expensive.
50s, right? And it was pink Peruvian, most of that.
Potent.
Most of that shit. They don't, in the ghetto, they don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
But mostly they don't, because they want the clients. They don't fuck with that shit. You get the best stuff in the ghetto. And
That's a competitive advantage for a coke dealer. We got
Right.
shit we don't step on. They
right.
do, we don't.
Right. So they got the best shit in the neighborhood, and the blender's there, and I'm like, fuck, you know. So
At this point, did you do cocaine?
no.
You never did it yet?
Never.
Okay.
I'm scared of it.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, this is a great bust. It's
Yeah.
a really good bust for a patrolman in uniform. You don't get narcotics busts like that. You got to do investigations to get a fucking tins and blenders, and it's a factory. It's a fucking cocaine factory.
Something you just stumbled
Yeah,
upon,
just
right?
stumbled on, right?
Yeah, it was like-
So what they did though was that noise you were hearing. They took the air conditioner out of the window and threw it on the floor and jumped out the fucking window on the second floor. I can't even do this. My shoulder hurts so bad. Anyway, and they broke their leg. Two of them jumped out the thing and they broke their legs, landing down. But they ran away like that. They hobbled away.
Wow.
They get caught down the block. They get pinched. But in the throes of this arrest, in comes street crime. Now, cops out there are going to know what I'm talking about if they listen to you. Street crime, They think they're big shots, okay? Now, I'm a young patrolman. I'm probably on the job 2 years, 2.5 years at that point. You know, in comes a sergeant with street crime. That means they got some cred, you know? And the sergeant goes, my men got this. Well, it's my fucking arrest. You know, I just smashed the door in. I got these guys all pinned down, whatever.
You got hurt too.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, long story short, I get so pissed off, I reach in that box. Don't ask me why, because I never know what I was doing. I reach in that box and I take 2 handfuls of fucking cocaine in the tins, in the tin foils, and put them in my pocket right in front of everybody. And I walked out the door. Fuck you, I left. So that's really the first thing I really...
Nobody said nothing. It was all the cops.
The
Everything.
sergeant was there. The cops were there. No one said nothing.
Did they say they saw you?
I did it right in front of them. There was 12 cops in the fucking room. I don't know what they saw. I didn't
They
ask
never
them.
asked about that after and said, "Yo,
No,
what
I
did
got a
you do with
medal
all
for
that
that.
fucking
I got
blow?"
a medal for that arrest. I didn't get the arrest. They took it, but they wrote me up as an assist.
Oh, so if they would have did that, that maybe would have put a damper on the credit they would have gotten.
Of course.
So that's why they didn't fucking do that.
Of course. Well,
Right.
for many
And they
reasons.
probably
Yeah.
touched it
For many
themselves
reasons. They might have
too.
done a couple bumps themselves.
And they probably took
What
some
am I
buzz.
worried about him? I got shit in my pocket too.
Yeah. That's exactly why
enough
they
to
didn't
go
say
around
nothing.
for
There's probably
everybody.
another kilo or 2 in there. I don't know, because I'm pissed I left, because the sergeants got a little wrapped up. I'm not thinking rob, look for the money in the floorboards that they found later on. I didn't know. I'm not thinking rob these fucking people. I'm just pissed that my outreach was taken. So that was the first thing I really, really did. There was a couple minor things, but that was really like, fuck you, blah. So that's the first time I really stepped out and did something that was
Okay,
sideways.
so you said it was like you did it in front of everybody. You grabbed, you put it in your pocket. Nobody said a word.
Right.
Right. Do you think because it was so
Then I gave it to my
easy?
brother. He lost all the money on it. What can I say?
But would you say because it was so easy, you said to yourself, "I'm definitely doing something like that again"?
It planted the seed that
Definitely did.
to look for like I didn't get in trouble. No one said anything.
Right.
It's like it's sort of so it left it open.
So positively reinforced you
So
to
the
do it
next
again.
the next shooting that I go to about 2 months later, see all these things I forget because I'm old, right? The money that I asked for was the Puerto Rican mystery, but the other guy was dead. The next guy, and it was on Sutter Avenue, right off Vermont and Sutter, next to Ray's Bodega on Bradford and Sutter. Ray's Bodega. Ray and me were like this. He loved me. But the marijuana spot next door, you know the tray bags? You ever hear the tray bags?
Yeah, $3
Yeah, yeah.
The
bag.
tray bag, that was the thing back in the
Yeah,
80s.
$3 bag.
The tray bag store.
She was huge.
And they'd have these paper plates in the window. That's it, like 2 or 3 paper plates with some kind of numbers on, and a jar of candy. And that's the candy store.
God
No one
damn.
bought any candy, and the paper plates, I don't know why they were there. But anyway, someone out there's going to know why the paper plates were there. I don't know. I didn't ask. All I know is we get the call, shots fired. Show up, can't open the door. But it's open, but I can't open it. So you get the entranceway and then the behind door. So the door where all the work is being done. So the vestibule and then into the
Right.
into the work. I can't open it, but I can move it. The guy's on the floor,
Yeah.
fucking dead, right? So now I'm pushing the dead guy with the door, and the blood's coming out under the fucking door, right? And we're pushing and getting in. We get inside, and what do I see? I see this young black kid, about 20, slim, handsome little prick. He gets down on his hands and knees, and he starts pumping on the guy's chest and giving him mouth to mouth in front of us. You just started this program.
Yeah.
You just starting the program, dude. So I don't know. When I look to my right, there's bags of, remember the stalks? And
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Not that one. This,
Well, that's another story I wanna
this-
get to.
Nah, it's a big, that's too many. We'll write a script on it. There's too many, there's a bag like this full of fucking, I don't know what the size of pot, but that's probably only a pound or two, maybe. But there's hundreds and stacks of cash. And I'm looking at this going, fuck. I mean, who's not weak for some cash and some dope? I mean, we're all human. So I went and I took the $600. I didn't know it was 600, just a stack of hundreds. I peeled off the stack of hundreds, I put them in my pocket. Now you're calling for emergency service, EMS, the whole crew. In comes the sergeant. Sergeant James Otto, what a fucking sweetheart. He says to me, so they gave him a stack of money, and they gave him bags of weed. I don't even know what the fuck they gave him. Because now the crew comes, everyone's shh. I don't. I'm just focusing on this guy now, and I traced the blood stains He had no blood on his hands when I got there. But he got down and started pumping. But then I looked, and there was blood stains throughout the whole building going outside upstairs.
He cleans his hands.
He cleaned his hands. Now, you don't clean your friend's blood off your hands if you're fucking dead in your hand. So now I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, he's a neighbor? I'm fucking, you know. So I put the 600 in my pocket. Maybe it was 8. Don't quote me. And Otto says, "Is this all the money?" Fuck. I go, yeah, I didn't want it to get full of blood. Whatever excuse I gave, I didn't want it to get lost in the mess. It was just a little stack of hunch.
Yeah.
A couple of hundred. Back then, $600.
That was more than you paid. What were you making a week?
Back then, it was about $280 a week. That time. Yeah. I got 600.
So that's 3 paychecks.
That's 3 paychecks in my fucking hand.
That's fucking
Cash.
crazy.
Right. Yeah, right? But no one's name on it, except Washington, whatever. Anyway, so I go, oh, yeah, so this I found. I didn't want to get messed up with the other money. The other money's dirty compared to this. Whatever. He looks at me and shakes his fucking head. Like, all right, so that night.
Shakes his head like, what the fuck were you doing with that money in your pocket?
No, what the fuck you giving it to me for?
Yeah, why are you giving it back?
It's not
Keep
mine,
it.
it's yours, you know,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
keep it.
Anyway.
He probably had money in it. Yeah, all right.
Who knows what he counted?
So in other words, he was good.
Yeah,
You sensed he was good. Just by that.
So,
Okay.
we finish up the arrest. In comes the detective. We no arrests. In comes the detective. The guy's in the hospital. He's dead. He's in the hospital, and we tell the fucking kid the kid that was working him, the young kid.
Yeah.
We go, what do you think happened? He goes, I told him to watch his mouth. He's always fucking with people's girls.
Damn.
His girl.
He fucked with his girl.
Correct.
And that's why he did that.
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Yeah.
So I go, oh,
Did he
really?
get locked up for that?
So Detective Redmond says to me, what do you think? I said, he did it. Redmond's a fucking, he's legendary, you know. He was the lead guy in 7-5. Number one homicide. So here's how Brooklyn was set up at the time. You had Brooklyn homicide, and you had 7-5 homicide. Each precinct had their own homicide division. That's how big homicide was back in the 80s. Today they don't. I don't know what they have today, but 7-5 homicide handled anywhere between 70 and 100 homicides a year.
God
Right?
damn.
Just that one precinct. This citywide, of course, there was 2,000 a year, but the fact is that these guys handled that many murders. That means how many people do you think they talked to in a year? These guys. They looked in their face and said, "Did he? Did I? He didn't." They know. They know in a minute if that guy did it or not, right? Or if you're lying to him about the witnessing, whatever. So long story short, he goes, "Who did it?" He goes, "What do you think?" I said, "He did it." He goes, "And tell me why." I said, "Because he cleaned his hands." He looks at me. He goes, "I'll take that with me." He goes to the hospital. They take the kid. I don't know what they did with him, but they went to the hospital, and he comes back and says, the kid's at the hospital, he's alive, and he says you did it. Now, why would you kill him? He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead in the hospital. He knows that I told him he did it, right? So now he's going to break the guy. He goes, why? He goes, because he was fucking with my girl.
Damn.
All right? So he already told me he's got a bad mouth with the girls. Long story short, I go to trial with this guy. Cops don't go to trial, just so you know. It's rare. There's always a plea somewhere, you know. You went to trial, you know what that's like.
Yeah.
But not many do,
Yeah,
okay?
That kid was fighting for his life.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah. This one you mean? No, you mean
Him and that fucking-
the other kid.
him and the other guy.
Long story short, he gets 5 years
God damn.
for murdering his fucking best friend.
That's not a lot.
Whoa.
5 years for that?
By the time I went to, I think they called it a map hearing or something like that. They called it a map hearing or something like that. I go to the map hearing, and I basically crucified the kid with what I said, the truth. I didn't lie. It's just the truth. Yeah, I did it. And they go outside the map hearing. They offer him 5 years. He took it. He went home 3 months later. At that time, it was 3.5 years. He went home 3 months later
Wow.
for murdering his best friend. So that was East New York justice in the fucking
me see that.
in the 80s. All right, you want to kill your best friend? Hey, fuck with your girl.
Okay, just so if you don't, a map hearing deals with the admissibility of physical evidence obtained by the police as a result of an illegal search. So that's what because they have all these pre-trial hearings. You got a
That was the map.
Sandoval,
Yes.
Molyneux, Huntley, It's all like, like a Sandoval hearing is
the name of the guy.
Yeah, but it's case law.
Yeah.
But it's to determine whether or not, because you have Sandoval and Molineux. One is to determine whether or not prior bad acts will be admissible in court.
Correct.
And then one is for convictions. And then you have the MAP hearing, it's the evidence and how it was obtained.
Correct.
Because sometimes they'll throw it out. Like, yeah, you got the evidence, but you went about collecting and gathering it the wrong
Right.
and in an illegal way, so this is gone.
Right.
Or you have a Huntley hearing, it's to determine
Huntley.
statements.
Statements that were made.
And how they were obtained.
Utterances, or were they pressured and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They give them
utterance.
the Miranda.
Spontaneous utterance.
Spontaneous utterance. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
We've been around it.
So did you, Mike,
We learned.
Please,
Mike,
go ahead.
did you ever finish your 20 years?
Okay, so I end up getting arrested.
If he finishes 20 years, you wouldn't be here right now.
We would have this. I would have a documentary. I have a pension and 3 homes, and living in the fucking and being
So what?
in the DR somewhere.
So you ended up getting locked up? By like what? Seven, year 8, 7, 9?
Yeah, my 10th year.
10th year.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, did 10 years. And so, funny story. So, I get involved then with the Dominican drug organizations.
Yeah, how did that? Because okay, let's tell a story. Because first there was like you saw how easy it was to be corrupt on the job.
Correct.
And with your personality, it's the same personality as mine, and I would have probably gravitated to doing that shit.
Yeah.
Because
You
once
would-
you'd see it's so easy,
you would've.
and then it's just like fuck it, let's do it. And
Yeah.
back in the '80s, people
there was
get
no
killed.
cameras, it
There's
didn't
no
matter.
cameras.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Okay. So once you got that reputation as being a cop, because you're a great asset to a drug organization, a drug dealer organization, because you're what they're against.
Right.
So if they got one of you, they're gonna tell when they're coming.
That's
And but a guy like you was gold to them
That
because
dude-
you got the reputation like this guy's
His
fucking
work is weight in
solid.
gold, the guy said.
Yeah.
Diaz,
Adam
Diaz.
Diaz. Yeah. Okay,
Diaz
but tell
said
us
he
about
was
who
fucking
was the
gold.
first guy? Baron?
Barron was the middleman.
Oh, okay, Baron was the
So Barron
liaison.
owns the auto body shop, or not the body, radios.
They put
The
the
boom
radios.
boxes.
Right.
No holes in my porch.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't put any holes in my porch.
Yeah. I have 2 machines counting money, right? Whatever he said. But, okay, so now, who was the first guy that Baron hooked you up with?
La Compañía.
Oh, La Compañía was a dangerous Dominican gang they were
Yes.
up against.
Yeah.
So now, they know this guy's solid. Baron brings him to this other drug dealer, right? And they start giving you payoffs
Right.
to protect their organization,
Correct.
let them know when shit's coming down. You be their eyes, their ears, and everything else.
Right. But he was sick of La Compañía because they shorted him.
Right.
And then that kid,
Yeah, no, that's what I was getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm,
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, because you left that out. He put the hit on Mike and
well, that's what I was
That's
going to
what
get to.
he's
getting to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now
You're
you
right,
got.
though, but you're right. You
Yeah.
listen.
I'm trying to
You're
keep
paying
up. I'm
attention.
trying to keep
You
up.
got these people paying you, right?
Yeah.
So, and one, they fucking short you, right?
Right, 700.
So what happened? You made a big deal, and they decided
because
what?
was I gonna do? The one thing you couldn't do is sell your soul and then get fucked.
Yeah, because
You
then
may
they'll
get
keep
fucked
fucking you
for
before
selling
you
your
know.
soul,
Yeah.
but don't get fucked through selling your soul. You know,
Makes
you
sense.
fuck yourself and whatever else, your honor.
Okay.
But if you're gonna fuck yourself, you got to get straight.
So these were regular weekly payoffs.
So he only lasted 1 week. This guy. It
Okay.
was 4th of July week.
Was that the guy Cello?
Cello?
He was
Okay.
a mutt.
Yeah. Well, Cello was a dangerous man. Yeah.
Sorry, Cello.
Fuck it, he's dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
And rightfully so. His own people killed him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
His own people.
You're right.
Anyway, but he, a lot of people know him. He's very well known.
I bet.
A lot of people know him because
All
the
Dominicans
the
is
Dominican
cousins.
organizations back then they're related. They're all
Yeah.
cousins, you know. But in a nice way, by the way. It's not
Yeah.
not to be disparaging. They're all related.
No, we literally, look, me and him is Dominican cousins.
There you go.
And
You
we
look the
just-
same. No, but really, all the Dominican guys have a nexus to each other. I mean, we're all 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon. The Dominican guys are like a half a piece of bacon.
Yeah,
between each other.
Albanians are all related too.
Same thing.
They're all
They're
related.
all related.
They all
yeah,
got the same nose.
Yeah, the jaw. They had the jaw. so anyway, so he shorts me, and then
How much did he short you?
700.
700.
Yeah. So here's the funny thing, and people in the drug world would know this. The money comes in stacks of thousands, right? 1,000, 1,000, 2,000.
And what was he giving you? What did he agree to pay you per week?
8,000.
And he short you 700.
Right.
So it's 7,200.
So
$7,300.
one stack has 1,000, and every other stack is missing 100. Oh my fucking
Mm.
And yeah, so I'm like, what am I, a schmuck?
Yeah.
am I, a schmuck on wheels?
Am I a fucking? What am I, right? So I end up. Yeah, I call up. I said, "It's short 700." The guy goes, "Too bad, you're not getting it."
Wow. Little prick.
So I gave $1,000 to a friend of mine who had the next shift. I said, "Sit in front of that store and chase everybody for
I remember that one.
a week."
And that's when he
Put the hit on me.
and then this guy put a hit on him.
Yeah.
Okay, so but listen, here's the thing. This guy that put the hit on him, he only knows about him and his reputation.
He's never met me.
He's
Never
never
seen
met
you.
him, doesn't know what he looks like, anything.
Nothing.
He's just a fucking guy that's doing this, but I don't even know. He could be walking right past me,
Right.
and I wouldn't even know who it is.
Right.
So now, Mike, because of how he's built, he wasn't going to let this shit go, right?
What do I do? Wait for you to come get me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you. Listen, I'm no tough guy. I couldn't live like that.
Yeah.
Could you go to sleep at night if I told you tonight if I put a hit on
Yeah,
you?
that's
You
right.
wouldn't sleep.
So the guy put the hit on him that day, and later on that night, right? It was like
If I take a Xanax, I'm fucking out of here, cuz. If I take a Xanax, I'm going to sleep, cuz.
right away. Once you heard who told you had a hit put on
Barron.
him? Barron said,
Barron.
"Be careful."
Barron was solid, man. Where he at now?
Baron, he's don't.
All right.
He was solid.
Okay.
Actually, he's all right. But, but I got hot for him. That's all.
Yeah,
No doubt.
So anyway, but Baron, he told me the guy put a hit on you, Mike. So I first back then did the pager, the beeper, the beeper went off. 911.
911.
Yeah. So I called him up. He said, "I don't come here before you go to work." So I on my way in, I stopped. He told me the story. I said, "Okay." I went to the precinct, got dressed, got in a patrol car with the internal affairs police officer. Lisa, I forget her last name. If I said Breland, it could be wrong, but something like that. And so she got in the car, we started patrol, and I went right up to the block. Right up. Like, you know, you're talking, it's the winter. It's the winter? When was the winter? It was July. I don't know. Anyway, it seemed dark, so it was, because you know you're under the L. When you're under the L in any town, it's dark.
Right,
You know,
right.
no matter what time of day
Yeah,
or
yeah.
year it is. So it was, I remember darkness. I don't mean black dark, but dark. So
Right.
I would think it'd be in the twilight, but it wouldn't have been because I found him very early in my shift. I went up to Fulton and Norwood.
And you knew what he looked like already, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't, but how did you know?
I knew the car. He had one of those tricked out back then.
Yeah.
He
That's what he said in the
had
documentary.
some tricked out fucking like Saab or some shit, you know, and had the skirts put on it. They want to make him look like fancy Mercedes, like they were copying Mercedes skirts and stuff.
Yeah, like the kit, like the
They
AMG
put
kit,
They
yeah.
put the kit on the fucking, and I knew the kit in the car. I never saw him, never met him. So I see the car, I pull him over, and you know the documentary tells the story. I mean, you want me to?
Yeah, go again, please. Tell us again, because
I
I.
have to watch the documentary. Not that I get any money for it.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
But you want.
No. So I pull the guy over and I tell the girl, it's a friend of mine, right back. I don't
Yeah.
want her to know.
Yeah.
So she says, oh, okay. So
She's in the car
She
with you?
stays in the car.
Oh, that's the.
The female.
the
Internal affairs.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
She's
You got her in the car,
she's
and you're going to do this.
She's internal affairs plan, and I know it because I tested her a couple times. She finally says to me, "Look, I'm hot. I was in the 108 or the 114. I got a couple of cops jammed up, and I'm sent to the 75 to cool out." I'm looking at her saying, "You're in the car with me. I'm the dirtiest cop in the city."
Wow.
How does this happen?
Wow. What a coincidence.
How does this happen? She goes,
What a
she told me
coincidence.
straight out. She says, "I'm not here to get anybody."
She was Puerto Rican?
She was a light-skinned mulatto, beautiful black girl, but
Okay.
she was like light, beautiful, gorgeous. Anyway, she could have been one of those foreign things, but she was a black girl, she was gorgeous, and white as this table almost. And she says to me, because I tested her already. I already put the test out. I went and I got a beer at the bodega, at the Eugene's bodega, and I put a straw in. I didn't use a straw. I put a straw in the can. I'm sitting there with a beer in my hand and a beer between the seats. She goes, "Give me one." I'll have one with you. She says, "I'm not here to get anybody."
Yeah.
Because she broke down. Because can you imagine the pressure on somebody? What it's like to come from a precinct where you're hot, and now the word travels. There's no secrets. You know, it's a 30,000 man job. But
And like you said, you felt it, though.
Yeah, well, I know it. You know it.
Energy
What's she
don't
doing
lie.
here? What's she
Yeah,
doing
energy
here?
don't lie.
And so that's why I tested her. And she broke right down. She says, "Look, I got jammed up in 114. I did rat out a couple of people, whatever I did. Maybe she was wrong. I don't know. She was fucking good looking girl. And a little bit bigger than the girl, but nice looking, pretty nice.
Shouts to the big girls.
Yeah, nice, pretty big.
Might a big girl once in a while, right?
No, she's a pretty good, big, you know. And
As long as they get wet.
You know, I didn't. Back then, when you're young and pretty, like you think you're picky.
Right.
You're picky. Plus, being married. No, I wasn't married at the time, but almost. So, long story short, I end up
Pulling the guy over.
and I tell him license, registration, insurance card. Now, he's in this little fucking down low on the ground.
Sob,
Whatever
Yeah,
the fuck
it
it
was
was.
dropped.
Little down low, right? Yeah.
He dropped the shit out of that
You know,
stupid shit.
You guys know the terms. I
Yeah,
don't.
it's that
So
Puerto
I'm
Rican
looking
shit.
at now. I'm 6'1".
God
With
damn.
My shoes on, I'm 6'3". If I had the hat on, which I never wear, you're talking about a guy who's almost 6'5" at that point, right? I'm looking down at him, and I go, license, registration, insurance card. And he looks up like this, and he opens the glove box, and I'm praying to God there's a gun in the fucking, because he's a fucking killer. This guy's a killer. I'm praying to God there's a gun in the glove box.
Why?
I'm going to shoot him right in the car. I'm going to shoot him right there.
So he went for the gun?
Yeah, it's good. He's gonna get killed. I mean, put a hit on me. Huh? Fuck you. So he opens the glove box, takes out his papers, hands me them, and I go like this. I throw them in his fucking lap. I go, you fucking put a hit on me? He looks at me, he turns the color of his, he's
God
Dominican like him.
damn.
He turns the color of his fucking table, and he goes, I go, you fucking call that hit off. We'll take it out of the car right now, and we'll do a Mexican standoff right here, right now. You know what a Mexican standoff is? You know what a Mexican standoff is? What is it?
What would you give with the guns, right?
What is it?
It's like a
10 steps each? Or 20 steps each, and they just air each other up.
Correct.
Yeah, like Wild
We'll
West
go back
type
to
stuff.
back.
Like
You
Wild
go
West.
that way, I
Yeah.
go that way.
They
Wild
set
West,
it
10
off.
steps, turn around, whoever shoots wins.
Yeah, you
I
was,
said, let's go.
you was on your Dirty Harry shit.
He goes, yeah, whatever. What am I gonna do? I mean, I wanted to be a man of honor. I mean, if he wanted to be honorable about it, let's do it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why I wanted. I should have just killed him. But I wanted to give him a chance. Like, let's be fair. What the fuck?
Did you guys ever carry guns around and be just throw it in the car? That's yours.
I didn't
Boom.
play that game. I didn't play that game.
Yeah.
There's guys that would have done it. But I had an extra gun, but it was my own.
Yeah.
I did have it, but I didn't use it. I gave them away. I ended up getting more time in federal prison for giving away throwaway guns to some guys. Anyway.
Oh, that came up later?
Yeah, you know,
Unbelievable.
Kenny told her every fucking thing.
Oh, my God. What a scumbag.
Fucking, they had a murder on that one, too.
Damn.
It wasn't mine. It was just a murder weapon. We took it. I didn't know what was going to do. The guy's there. We got him.
Yeah.
Don't need the weapon. We know who did it.
Yeah. So what did he didn't want to do the standoff?
I
So
get
what
my
happened?
pager goes off about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later. 911, Baron, come to the shop. You know, back then you drove your car up. I don't know. There's a cop in the room here. Maybe he knows. I don't know if they did it. Back then you had payphones, right? On the street, every corner had a payphone.
Yeah.
Especially in the crack neighborhoods, you had 1,000 payphones. They lined up on them. I just pulled the radio car up to the thing, get on the phone. It's like had our own car phone. Like, you just pull up on the sidewalk, reach out, grab the phone, and you had your own code you put in. It's a free phone call. What's up? He goes, come to the shop. I got to talk to you. Hang the phone up. I go to the shop. He goes, here's your money.
The what he owed, the 700?
700. Here's your 700. He says he doesn't want to do any more business with you. You go your way. He'll go his way. I said, all right, fair.
Yeah, because he's going to say, I can't take advantage of this guy.
Fair.
Yeah.
So I go, good. 2 days later, Baron beeps me. Come on, I want to talk to you. He goes, I got another one. And that's when we met
Adam
Diaz.
Adam
To
Diaz.
sit down for 24 grand.
That was
Just to
crazy.
talk.
He said, y'all need 24 bands just to talk, Pops.
Correct.
What do you mean, just to discuss
Yeah.
business?
Just to have a
Yeah.
discussion.
I need 24,000.
24,000.
To talk.
Why the number 24,000?
I
Not
did the math-
25.
I did the math in my head. If I lost my job, I'd need at least six months supply of cash for me and my partner.
So that's
12
20
grand.
Smart.
I figured
24
6 months from now.
just to talk.
I figured 6 months from now we'll find something.
That's like just for a lawyer, just for a
Just
consultation.
for a consultation. We had a discussion. Yeah.
That's the consultation.
Yeah, sign the paper.
24,000 for a
Yeah, the retainer.
consultation.
It was a retainer.
Yeah.
It was a retainer.
Definitely a
It was a
retainer.
retainer.
Definitely a
And
retainer.
back then you're talking about the 80s. It was 87. It was a good lick. You know, 24.
Yeah.
24 bands, cash money was
Yeah.
epic.
To say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so obviously I saw the documentary, and that guy Adam, man, he knew he said Kenny had that look of a cop, but not Mike.
Right.
He said Mike was the real deal. So this guy was like, how long was that span that you were working
So
with?
actually, Adam and I, we worked together for like 2 years, but really that gig only lasted about 5 months, 6 months because Adam had to take off. Half his crew got pinched. There was a whole big thing that went down. I protected them, and then there was a bust. A lot of shit happened. You got to watch it. In fact, 80% of it's not, 90% is not in the documentary, and I don't really want to give it all out here.
Sure, no.
Only because we're gonna probably do a TV series.
No, absolutely. That sounds amazing.
And it really gets, again, we get into the weeds with stuff, But the bottom line is that I'm still friends with Adam today. I just had him on the phone. You said hello.
Yeah, we said hello.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, Lilo? That's the way he talking. How you doing, Lilo?
Yo,
They look like twins over there.
Yeah,
That
totally.
was exactly
We have the same barber. What do
Yo.
you guys do now? They got a cigar company now.
Oh yeah.
Well, we do, but it's been on the slowdown because we need an investor.
Okay.
Because, the boxes cost a lot, but the cigars cost almost nothing, just so you know.
But the
The
box.
boxes.
Why?
And
Because
then
there's
the
certain
tax.
box like cedar wood to
Cedar
keep them
wood,
fresh.
Yeah,
all
the
that stuff.
packaging.
Yeah,
The
Yeah, it's like-
packaging costs more
Yeah,
than
because the
cigar.
cigars you want to keep them fresh.
Yes.
And they say isn't it true that you're only supposed to light a cigar with a cedar match?
I wouldn't answer that question. There's some guys in here that might be able to answer that question. I don't know.
I heard that when you light a cigar, you're supposed to strike, the sulfur and
Yeah.
let that part burn.
Right.
But then once it gets to, this is what I heard. I smoke cigars. I don't smoke them
Right,
like that.
right.
But then they say it's the cedar wood part is which you're supposed, because then the other thing may taint the flavor.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
The sulfur. The
Right,
sulfur.
right.
is
Sulfur
disgusting.
definitely taints the
Oh, yeah,
flavor.
no question.
So that's why they say the cedar.
But they use those torches now too.
Yeah.
It's like acetylene torch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's not what we're here for. It's nice we lay the story out, but the reality is we all have a life to live, and we pay our debt to society. I know you had your situation. You paid your debt to society. In fact, I told you one day, stop apologizing. Did I not?
Yeah, you did.
I said that's enough. You did. You know why I told you that? I never told
I
you
felt
why.
that.
I never told you why I told you that. A cop called me up and told me, tell Lilo to stop apologizing. Because I wouldn't have said that on my own. I would have thought that. In fact, I did think
Why?
that.
What did he think? It didn't look authentic?
No. He just didn't want you to keep apologizing for something you already paid your time for. He was real. I think he's Mike. Mike, you might have known Mike. I'm not sure if you knew Mike.
What's his last name?
Irish guy from the Bronx, Manhattan, the Bronx. I forget his name off the top. I got him. He's a good friend of mine. I never call anybody their last name. That's why I got their different locations in the phone. Like I got Lilo Bronx. I don't know your last name, Brancato. I mean, what the fuck do I know?
Yeah. So how many years?
Lilo Deli. Oh yeah, I got. I mean, come on, guys. I mean,
Okay.
That's how we name people. How we meet them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So eventually you got caught and everything came to a head, right? With the corruptions. How long were you active in
Bad boy stuff.
in corruption? The police?
Probably of the 10 years on the job, probably 7.5.
God damn.
Not the first 3 years, the last
First 2.5.
nothing.
Nothing basically, minor bullshit, but really, really like insignificant. And nothing is insignificant, but that wasn't my thought. But then after that, once it was on, it was on.
It was on. It's like once you're a jet all the way, baby.
Yeah, so I parked the car in lieutenant spot. I wanted them to get rid of me. I'm like, would you please get rid of me? I just parked the fucking $40,000 car in your
Nigga said you was getting it hot with the red Corvette, my boy.
Yeah, I put the Corvette in the lieutenant spot because I wanted to piss him off because I'm sick of you people talking shit and doing nothing. Because I couldn't take it anymore. The pressure was getting to me because they kept saying 7.5's getting it, 7.5's getting it. Who's the 7.5? Me. I don't realize that half the other guys are robbing everybody because no one's telling everybody what they're doing.
Yeah.
But so that's how that went down for me. And but I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, it's twisted. So after I get arrested, I'm in MCC New York, and I'm the biggest scourge in the city history at this point. I mean, guys are murdering people. I'm the biggest scumbag lowlife, right? Because I fit the bill. White guy from the suburbs, And even though they had a whole, this is not to be disparaging, facts. They had an organization of about 20 black guys, 7'9", 7'3", 8'1". I'm missing a precinct. I don't know which one it is. I don't want to say the wrong one. It could have been 6'7". One's a chief today. One's a chief in New York City. In fact, the Banks brothers have been in a little bit of trouble lately. All over the news.
Who?
With Eric Adams.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Those guys, that whole crew, they were involved,
Really?
big time,
Yeah, they're in trouble.
big time.
Allegedly, right?
No, big time back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, back then.
Wow.
Back then.
Yeah.
They all went through that area.
Mm.
7'9", 7'3", 7'7", 7'1", and 6'7".
And at the end of the day, even though in New York City, internal affairs, all these, everyone there had their eyes on you.
Yeah.
But it was the Suffolk Police Department that finally got you, right? It wasn't even in New York City. It was Suffolk County in Long Island that ended up apprehending you.
Why those cocksuckers?
It was for the cocaine, right? They
Because
would,
Kenny sold a half a gram to his fucking muscle friend, the guy who worked out in the gym every day, tough guy. They pulled him over for DWI. He had, in fact, they rolled him. He had a half a gram on him, and he told on 57 people.
Damn.
yeah, but here's the
People got
thing.
arrested.
But you know what they noticed? They must have tested that cocaine, right?
That's
And
97%.
pure,
it was 97% pure.
Yeah.
So they were probably like on the streets of Suffolk County. We've never seen
That's
Yeah.
exactly what he said.
We've never seen fucking blow this strong.
And
So there must be somebody really like somebody.
Your jaw's getting tight. What the?
Yo.
He's all going like that. 97%.
Did Diaz get wrapped up? Did Diaz get wrapped up in that shit?
He was already wrapped.
Oh,
This is later on. These guys all went down at some point. And I'm like ducking every fucking
You
week.
fucking
waiting
died.
for the
They got you at your house,
You
right?
ducking and
You
dodging.
knew,
For years I ducked and
You
dodged.
heard the cars, right?
Oh, that was later, yeah. Sure,
Yeah.
Sure, in the court. They pulled him to the court.
Yeah, 'cause believe it or not,
Here they come.
God damn.
I was,
It's not a good feeling when you hear the cars.
Brooklyn in general, the 7-3, that whole area, it was fucking nuts, right? A lot of police corruption.
Yeah.
I was away with a guy in Rikers Island. He was a former member of. He was the 7-3. He was part of the Morgue Boys.
Yes.
They used to rob drug dealers and divvy everything
Go
up
to
in
the
the morgue.
At the morgue.
And
yeah.
then split everything up. They were called the Morgue Boys.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of police corruption going on.
there was
Now
a
you
lot.
can't do nothing. Body cameras. You can't
you
do
can't.
nothing.
Sucks.
It's fucking over.
Sucks.
It's over.
No, you know what? It's a better way to do policing, to be honest with you. This show's about redemption, right?
Right.
So it really is a better way to do police work because you don't have to
But I'm
lie.
sure they still
You don't
got
have to
scumbag
lie.
ways.
You know what it was like going to work every day looking for the police when you're the police?
God damn.
I'm like, and everywhere I go, there's police because I'm the police.
You take medicine for any of that shit now?
PTSD.
I don't have PTSD. Yeah.
Another guy who was away, I know it's get to it, but it was another guy who was away, but he's still my friend to this day. He stole like $5 million. And just how you said, you wanted them to get you because it got to the point where, like, how much longer can this possibly fucking last? And that's what he said. He turned himself in.
Yeah.
He was, all he would do was looking out his window.
I would never do that, but
Yeah.
But that's what happens. You want it to end.
Now, my friend kept looking out the window, this and that. He knew he was being watched, and he
yeah.
just said,
They
you
were
know
all
what?
over me.
He went and turned himself in, bro.
Yeah,
And he got time, and, that's where I met him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm glad he turned himself
Yeah.
in. We would have never met.
We need that motherfucker on the podcast.
Let me tell you something.
We'll get him. We'll get him.
I would drive to work at 90 miles an hour, because that's what the cops did back then. It was 90.
Wow.
90. But I drove in the right-hand lane because the chest pains that I would get and the numbness that would go down my leg and up my arm and over the half, from this part of my head all the way down to my foot. Okay, I might die, but if I die, I'm going to die on the side of the road. I don't want to kill 3 lanes of traffic if I die. That's how I would go to work. And I would get off the exit ramps where I knew there was a hospital, just in case. That's how fucking bad it was. I'd get off the exit ramp in Queens, like there's 2 hospitals, Elmhurst Hospital, and there's another one by Creedmoor. I forget the name, but I wasn't going to Creedmoor, but maybe I should have went to Creedmoor, right? Because that was the psych ward there, Creedmoor. But I would be by the fucking exit ramp just in case I passed out, because I would start to fade out, like from the fucking stress.
Yeah.
I mean, you live stressful. I mean, I'm certain. I don't know if
Yeah.
you knew that stress, but I had it on both sides because I'm living bad.
I got arrested 10 minutes after it happened.
I'm living bad.
Right.
I'm living bad and doing. I'm living bad and doing bad, and and so I was living a double, triple life.
Yeah.
I got a wife. I got girlfriends. I got kids. I got bills. I got properties. It's just wonderful and disgusting all at once. You're never happy when you live that life.
No. And
You're never.
and Kenny was your partner during this time, right?
Kenny was my partner during, not the whole time, during the time that I worked with Diaz. So that was only about a year and a quarter, like maybe. Like that's all. But once you're partners for life.
Right.
So when he retired, we'd still be partners, but outside of work. Then I ended up being partners with Tom Massia, who was arrested for murder initially, and he beat the charges. He's the one that in Maria Hernandez Park, he hit a guy with a radio, police radio, and the guy died. And so Sharpton came out, started marching, and they arrested him. He said, I hit the guy because he came after me. What am I going to do? I didn't I had the radio in my hand. So the guy came after me. He hit him.
Shot could have done a lot worse.
He hit him with the fucking radio. Yeah. He died. So he gets arrested for murder, the first cop ever at that time to be arrested for murder on duty. And he went to trial and won. So now it's the guy who gets arrested for murder and the biggest drug dealing cop in the city become partners. What a deal. Yeah, you can only imagine. There's so many other stories I'm leaving out for another day, and it's getting late, and I'm getting a little tired and fucking sleepy here.
So
the redemption. This is my life today. I speak about it. I share about it. I help others. I help cops that are going through similar situations. I don't mean guys, because most guys are not out there robbing and ripping like they did back in my day. But now they go through, like, the department hates the cop. First of all, the minute a cop gets a job is the minute they start to try to take the job from them. Believe it or not, it's not like you joined the fucking mechanics association. You get to work, they're trying to teach you how to be a mechanic. You go to the police department, the first thing you do is you get a gig card in your fucking pocket. So the minute you get the gig card in your pocket, you get a shot, or whatever they call it. In prison it's a shot, and in the street it's called a star card, whatever the fuck they get, gig. If your uniform's not perfect, they take out and they put a mark on your star card, and you go in the book. 3 of those, in 1 week, you go on probation. The next 2 weeks, you're fired. I mean, this is how the police job is. The police job is a wonderful job because it's fun, it's exciting, but the job itself is always trying to fuck the cop. And that's the difficult thing about it. So today I speak, I go to colleges. I think you do some speaking.
Yeah, of course.
I go to colleges, I go to police departments. I try to help the cop see the damage that will happen to you when you screw up like I did. And to show them the difference and how to discern how to live the life as a cop and the rewards that can be there. I mean, every job isn't as rewarding as you want it to be, but sometimes you take the small blessings that life will give you and you turn them into bigger and better things. I mean, you can become a police officer and then get a career afterwards, maybe in counseling, maybe as a teacher.
Have you ever spoken to 7-7?
7-5?
7-5?
No, they won't allow me in the building. I got suspended from 1PP. Did you see that over the newspaper?
Yeah.
I got suspended from 1PP. Don't ask me why. Yeah. So I took a picture.
I know you're a much different human being nowadays, and I know that you definitely. But if you could go back, would you change anything?
I rob every motherfucker. I rip the streets apart. No. Okay, so there's two people in me, right? Everybody has two people. I could have been the worst guy and robbed everybody and took millions that I let go. Or I could do the 20 and get a pension and live a clean life. So those are the choices you would make starting back from the beginning. If I had done the right thing, I don't know about you, but when you were a kid, the turtle and the rabbit would do a race. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And the fucking turtle ended up winning. You couldn't believe that the turtle would win this fucking race, but he did. So the turtle.
See, because he took his time and he did it nice, and the other
he
guy
took his
burned
time.
out.
He did it right.
The fucking rabbit was being cocky.
Do you ever feel bad?
What?
Do you ever feel bad for anything?
Anymore? No.
Yeah.
There was a time I felt bad, but I'm done feeling bad.
But have you
paid
forgiven
your
yourself?
debt.
I've forgiven myself. I think most of the people that know me forgive me for what I did, and they appreciate me for who I am today. I'm good. I'm a good person.
No, I know you are.
I'm a good person.
I've known you for years.
And the way you're good is that you stay true. You don't lie. Relationships are a little tricky. So I'm going to just put that out there. But I mean, you don't lie to your friends. You make promises. You show up. When your guy says to you, "Can you do a show?" I'll be there. Don't find an excuse. Because there's a lot of excuses. Oh, I was doing my laundry. Well, listen, motherfucker, I have laundry too. I didn't do my laundry. I got stuck picking up. Don't pick it up when you're done. Wait, do what you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it.
You always have, and I will definitely say.
And that's part of being a good man. Follow through on what you say you're gonna do, and even if it means you're gonna rob the crack dealer next door, follow through.
Right.
I'm not saying you should do it. But if you make the plan, you got to follow through.
Right.
If you're gonna be good, be good.
Right. But be honest.
Yeah.
Just be direct.
Is there any advice?
If you're bad, be bad. But just be real.
What would be the advice that you would give to some young, kid coming up in the academy right now? Even though it's a much different time.
Yeah.
But
It
I'm
is.
sure some stuff in
Turn
being
your
a member of
fucking
law.
webcam off.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of things, a lot of things are different just because times are different, technology. But a lot of stuff transcends time,
Yes.
even
Well,
within the realm of being
Well,
an
people
author.
are people. People are
Right.
people. You're gonna be a person wherever you go. So you take the person with you. So the webcams, whatever you call them.
Yeah, what are the fucking- the
they're
body
webcams.
cam, body
The
cam,
porn
body cam.
The porn cam. That's what you're thinking. Yeah.
Turn your
The
cam.
body cam, the body cam, the body
Yeah, yeah.
cam.
No, but the webcam, whatever the cam. So listen. If I had that cam, I would either have never turned it on.
Yeah.
Or I would have. Sir, some people need a little check. You need a little check now and then. That camera being on changed the whole world.
Change the game.
Okay, it changed everything. Good and bad. There's good and bad. But I personally was an advocate for it. I know there's a cop in here that would tell you, fuck you, I hated the cam. But I would tell you I'm an advocate for it because it keeps you honest. That's all. It keeps you honest and it protects you. Because most of the time, the cops are doing the right thing. All right, what's wrong? All right, they double park, they got a free sandwich. I'm not talking that shit. Most of the times in a professional situation when they're asked to do a police service, i.e. break up a fight, get in the middle of a family dispute, take out a gun because they're being shot at, stabbed at, whatever it is, that camera's going to tell the truth. And that's going to be the difference between hands up, don't shoot guy, the guy in St. Louis or one Ferguson or something like that. If they had a camera on then, you would know the truth.
Look, Breonna Taylor.
There's a lot of listen.
Man,
A lot
shit.
of, you can
Yeah,
go down the list.
yeah, hell
The-
yeah.
The camera will tell the truth most of the time.
That shit, look, remember, I think it was
Most
down
of the
south
time.
somewhere. It was like 10 black cops. They beat the brakes off some other black kid. They
Yeah.
beat the
Yeah,
brakes off
Philadelphia,
of
I
him.
think.
Some shit like that. It was either Philadelphia or Atlanta. Dude, they
Right.
got convicted.
Yes.
All that shit was on body cam.
Right. Yeah. So that's
Some people be wilding with the cam on.
yeah.
Speaking about convictions, obviously after this all came to a head, you got arrested and you got convicted and you went to prison.
Correct.
How long did you do?
I was sentenced to. I went in the courtroom facing life.
God damn.
Yeah, and I got sentenced to 14 years.
Wow.
The judge was going to give me more. She said, but my testimony for the Marlin Commission was helpful to the police department and to the commission, and that because of that, instead of departing upward from my guidelines, federals, they have guidelines. Instead of departing upward from my guidelines, she had the right to give me up to life. But the guidelines required her to stay up to 17. And then, or 15 and a half, I can't remember. I think it was 15 and a half. There was a couple of different plea offers that I returned them all. I was going to trial. I was going to trial in the defense, and that's no easy place to be. Let me tell you right
Yeah.
now.
No, they win.
It's not an easy place to be. Going
If the feds take it to trial,
I was
they
going to
usually
trial.
win.
A year
They win.
and a month I was fighting to go to trial because they offered me 34 fucking years. I'm like, fuck you, let's go. I mean, 34 years.
How much more are you going to get if you get convicted? Right.
Yeah, so I said, let's go to trial. Anyway, long story short, I ended up getting a 14-year sentence, which is right in the middle of my guidelines. And here's how it sounds in the courtroom. And Mr. Dowd, that's 168 months. And I'm going, what's 168 months? I don't do months. I don't know what a month is.
That's what the feds,
Yeah,
that's
you're
the
sentenced to
sentence.
160. It almost sounds kind.
Yeah.
It sounds 168 months. Oh, it's only months. So she says to Kimberwood, smoke shop, by the way. I think Clinton or someone appointed. She was beautiful. Blue eyes, black hair, 105-pounder.
Nah.
Right on my list. And she was called the Love Judge. Remember the Love Judge on the newspaper? No. Yeah, you were running in the streets. You were ripping and running still. The Love Judge, she was called. She goes, that's 14 years.
God damn.
I went, motherfucker. I'm like, fuck, I didn't say, my lawyer's like, fuck up, So I leave the courtroom and I walk out of the courtroom and there's a guy outside the courtroom who I know from the joint. He goes, what'd you get? I go, that bitch gave me 14 fucking years. Do you know what they made me? They sat me in a bullpen till fucking like midnight that night.
Damn,
Those motherfuckers.
bro.
Why, 'cause they
kept me
heard
in the
you say that?
bullpen. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, but I remember from the documentary, you got all that time, and you weren't that upset because what happened that year?
The Rangers won the cup.
That's it. The Rangers won.
I said it wasn't
Fuck the 14
It wasn't
years.
a complete
The
loss.
Rangers won,
the
baby.
cup.
They
I
haven't
could go
won
to-
since, right?
I could go to my grave with the Rangers winning the cup.
Yo,
They
I remember,
haven't
you
won
know what?
since.
I was in the China Club, right? and the Rangers came in the fucking China Club, and they held the cup, and they all walked around. I was taking some girl out to the car, and I couldn't take them out because they were bringing the fucking cup through.
What were you, like 16, 17?
No, this was in '94. They won in '94.
How old were you?
So I was 18. Wow. Because I was born in '76, so '96 I would have been 20. I was 18 years old. I got this girl Renee. I was bringing her my friend Little Louie's brother's Cadillac. The back seat's like a sofa.
We just saw that today.
Yeah, the back seat's
like a house.
Yeah, it's like
the
a
whole
sofa.
family can stay
It's
there.
like, yeah, it's like a fucking, you know what I mean?
Delta 88. The Deuce in the corner.
And we were doing some snag and everything. I was ready. That's when, like, I was still able to get hard with the blow. I was good.
Yeah, right.
And she was a little older. She had the fake tits. And nothing happened because the fucking Rangers came in. They beat the Canucks that year, right?
Yeah.
Pavel Bure was there, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. I'm a Penguins fan because '84 was like when I started watching sports. So I'm a Marino fan.
Right.
I'm a Knicks fan. Ewing came in the league.
Ewing.
I'm Mario Lemieux.
Starks.
Mario Lemieux.
He's a big Starks fan.
Oh, yeah?
The big guy.
Yeah?
Well,
I see.
the other big guy.
Yeah, Starks. You like John Starks? Every time
Fucking
I think
legend,
of him, I think
man.
of all those shots he took in '94, and I want to oh my
Yeah,
god,
that is
that was a
right.
tough team though. That was the Rockets
They were
were
damn
tough.
good. They were damn
Houston
good.
Rockets were tough, man.
They were damn
Kim
good.
Olajuwon was a beast. He was better than Ewing.
Yeah, he was.
He was the best. He was the best center.
He worked Ewing.
Yeah, yeah.
Ewing was that. Ewing was.
We got someone coming for dinner.
Okay,
Let's go. Let's wrap this shit up,
The
baby.
doctor's coming to see you.
So,
Friend of mine.
yeah, thank you very much for being on our show, brother. This is an absolute
insight, sir.
honor and
Yeah,
fucking
you got it.
pleasure.
You got it.
There's
Fucking
not too
legend.
many guys like this man, and I will say, whatever it is you do in life, whether it's steal, whether it's whatever the fuck you do, as long as you do it in an honorable way. He did his time like a man in an honorable way. Okay, you know what it means to do 13 years, to be on the other side, not this criminal side, to be on the side of that locks up the criminals, to get all that time, not tell on one fucking person, and do 13 years, and then come out and be able to just like be the way you are, bro. That's a man's man, bro. Really, and I really appreciate it, and I'm proud and honored to call you a friend, brother. You're gonna be all right. I promise. You're gonna be all right. Let's go Rangers,
One
baby.
more. Let's go, Mike Dowd. It's a wrap. Horse.
Let's go get those horses we were talking about.